In the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, alien leaders from across the universe gathered for their weekly meeting. The room was filled with high-tech screens, floating holograms, and an atmosphere of superiority. The Council was known for its vast power and advanced technology, which made them believe they were unbeatable. Today, the topic of discussion was Earth. Recent reports had come in about a small human fleet engaging in a battle against an alien force. The Council was amused. They had long dismissed Earth as a minor player in the grand scheme of the galaxy. Their focus was on more sophisticated civilizations. "Can you believe the audacity of these humans?" one council member said with a chuckle. His voice echoed through the chamber. "They actually think their tactics can challenge us. How quaint." Another council member, a tall, blue-skinned being with many eyes, added, "Their strategies are so primitive. It's almost endearing. They remind me of old-fashioned war games." The council's leader, a sleek, silver-skinned figure with glowing eyes, nodded in agreement. "Yes, it's amusing. Their battle tactics are so outdated. Our technology far surpasses anything they could conceive." The council's screens displayed images of the recent battle. The human fleet, small and seemingly outmatched, used a series of what appeared to be simple maneuvers. The council members watched with smirks and laughter. "They're using tactics from centuries ago," exclaimed a green-skinned alien with sharp, angular features. "It's like they're stuck in the past. They're no match for our advanced technology." The council's laughter grew louder. They exchanged jokes and sarcastic remarks about the human strategies. Their arrogance was palpable. They couldn't imagine that such a seemingly primitive species could offer any real challenge. Suddenly, a transmission alert blinked on one of the screens. The council turned their attention to it, their laughter fading into curiosity. The message was from Earth. It was short but bold. "We challenge you to a tactical simulation. Prove your superiority using the strategies we've provided." The room fell silent. The council members exchanged glances of surprise. "Do they really think we'll be impressed by their outdated tactics?" one asked. The council leader's eyes narrowed as he considered the challenge. "They want to test us? Very well. Let's accept their challenge. It will be interesting to see how their tactics hold up in a controlled simulation." The council quickly agreed to the challenge. They began setting up the virtual simulation, eager to show how easily they could defeat the human tactics. Their advanced technology would ensure a swift and decisive victory, they thought. As the simulation preparations began, the council members continued to joke about the upcoming match. They were confident it would be an easy win. "It'll be a piece of cake," one said with a grin. "We'll crush their so-called tactics and show them how superior we are." Hours later, the simulation was ready. The council members gathered around the control screens, excited to witness the demonstration of their power. The human tactics were loaded into the system, and the simulation started. At first, everything seemed as expected. The council's forces dominated the virtual battlefield. But then something strange happened. The human tactics began to make their mark. The council's forces found themselves struggling to keep up. The strategies, though simple, were proving surprisingly effective. The council members looked at each other in confusion. Their confident smiles started to fade. What was happening? They had underestimated the human tactics, and now they were being forced to rethink their assumptions. The laughter that filled the room earlier was replaced by murmurs of surprise and concern. The council leader's eyes widened as the simulation showed their forces in trouble. "This is not what we expected," he said, his voice tinged with frustration. The scene in the simulation was unfolding in ways that defied the council's expectations. The human tactics were not just simple, they were cunning and adaptive. The council had to face the reality that they might have underestimated Earth's battle strategies. As the simulation continued, the council members grew more serious. The initial mockery had given way to a realization that Earth's tactics might be more than just a joke. This was just the beginning of a challenge they had not anticipated. The Galactic Council was buzzing with excitement as the day of the simulation arrived. The Grand Hall, once filled with laughter and jokes, now had an air of seriousness. The council members were eager to prove their superiority, confident that their advanced technology would easily defeat the human tactics. The simulation chamber was a marvel of technology. It was a vast, high-tech room filled with screens, control panels, and holographic displays. The council members took their places, ready to oversee the demonstration. They were certain it would be a straightforward victory. On one side of the room, the human tactics were loaded into the simulation system. These tactics, which had been mocked and ridiculed, were about to be put to the test. The Council had high expectations. They believed their advanced weapons and strategies would easily outmatch the outdated human methods. "Let's get this started," said the Council leader, his silver skin reflecting the soft light of the room. His voice was confident and commanding. "Prepare to witness the power of our technology against these so-called primitive tactics." The simulation began with a dramatic flourish. Holographic projectors created a detailed battlefield, complete with planets, spaceships, and other elements of war. On one side, the Council's fleet, with its state-of-the-art weaponry and sleek, powerful ships, waited for the battle to start. On the other side, the human tactics were represented by a smaller, less advanced fleet. The Council members watched eagerly as the simulation started. Their ships moved with precision and power, displaying the latest in alien technology. The Council's forces were swift and aggressive, launching a barrage of attacks. At first, the battle seemed to go as expected. The Council's fleet quickly gained the upper hand, pushing the human ships into a defensive position. The Council members exchanged pleased looks, certain that their victory was imminent. But then something unexpected happened. The human ships, though smaller and less advanced, began to move in ways that confused the Council. The tactics were simple, but they seemed to be effective. The human ships used maneuvers that the Council's fleet struggled to counter. "What's happening?" one Council member asked, his voice tinged with surprise. "Their tactics shouldn't be this effective." The simulation showed the human ships executing a series of evasive maneuvers and counterattacks. The Council's ships found themselves caught off guard, unable to land decisive blows. The simplicity of the human tactics made them unpredictable and difficult to counter. The Council members watched in growing frustration as their forces struggled. The human ships seemed to be everywhere at once, slipping through gaps in the Council's defenses. The once confident Council members were now anxious, their earlier laughter replaced by murmurs of concern. "This can't be right," said the Council leader, his voice firm. "Our technology is superior. How can these outdated tactics be causing us so much trouble?" The battle raged on, and the Council's frustration grew. Their advanced weapons and strategies seemed to be ineffective against the seemingly simple human methods. The Council members were forced to confront the reality that they had underestimated Earth's capabilities. As the simulation continued, the Council's forces began to falter. The human tactics proved to be not just simple, but also highly effective. The Council members could no longer dismiss the human strategies as a joke. They were being forced to reevaluate their earlier assumptions. "This is unbelievable," said one of the Council members, shaking his head. "We've underestimated them. Their tactics are more sophisticated than we thought." The simulation ended with the human fleet achieving a surprising victory. The Council members sat in stunned silence, their confidence shattered. They had expected an easy win, but instead, they had been outmaneuvered by Earth's tactics. The leader of the Council looked around at his fellow members, a mix of embarrassment and frustration on his face. "We need to understand what just happened," he said. "These tactics are not as primitive as we believed. We have to figure out how they're working." The once laughing Council had been humbled by the simulation. The human tactics, once dismissed as outdated, had proven to be a formidable challenge. The Council now faced the daunting task of unraveling the mystery of Earth's battle strategies. The Galactic Council's grand hall was quiet, a stark contrast to the earlier laughter and confidence. The recent simulation had left the Council members in shock. Their superior technology had been outwitted by what they had thought were simple human tactics. Now they needed answers. The Council leader, with his sleek silver skin and glowing eyes, convened an emergency meeting. His voice was serious as he addressed the room. "We've been humiliated. The human tactics that we thought were outdated have proven to be highly effective. We need to understand how and why." The Council's top analysts and strategists were called in. They were a group of highly intelligent beings, skilled in deciphering complex data. Their task was to investigate the human tactics in detail and uncover the secret behind their effectiveness. The analysts worked tirelessly, poring over every piece of data from the simulation. They examined the battle logs, movement patterns, and tactical decisions made by the human fleet. The complexity of the task was evident, and the Council members watched with growing impatience. Days turned into nights as the analysts delved deeper into the human tactics. They compared the simulation data with historical records of Earth's military history. The council members waited anxiously, their earlier arrogance replaced by a burning curiosity. Finally, one of the lead analysts, a sharp-eyed alien with a reputation for brilliance, called for a meeting. "We have found something," he announced. The room fell silent as the council members gathered around. The analyst presented his findings. "The human tactics we saw in the simulation are not just random strategies. They are the result of years of development and refinement. Earth's military history shows a continuous evolution of these tactics, shaped by countless battles and conflicts." The council members listened intently as the analyst continued. "What we thought were simple maneuvers are actually sophisticated and adaptive strategies. Humans have developed these tactics through experience, learning from each conflict to make their approach more effective." One council member, a tall being with many eyes, frowned. "So they've been improving their tactics over time?" "Yes," the analyst confirmed. "The tactics used in the simulation were designed to be versatile and unpredictable. They adapt to different situations, making them difficult to counter. The simplicity we saw was a deliberate choice to hide their true complexity." The council leader's eyes widened. "So we underestimated them. We thought their tactics were outdated, but in reality, they were advanced and cunning." The analysts nodded. "Exactly. These tactics are not just about firepower. They involve psychological strategies, misdirection, and adaptability. The humans have created a system that can exploit the weaknesses of more technologically advanced opponents." The realization hit the council members hard. They had laughed at the human tactics, thinking them primitive, but now they understood the depth of their mistake. The human strategies were not only effective, but also reflected a level of strategic thinking that was beyond their initial assumptions. The leader of the council addressed his fellow members with a new sense of urgency. "We need to reevaluate our approach to Earth. These tactics are a testament to human ingenuity. We should not only understand them, but also learn from them." The analysts continued to present their findings, showing how the human tactics could be applied in various scenarios. The council members took notes, their earlier arrogance replaced by respect and curiosity. As the meeting concluded, the council was left to ponder their next steps. They had been humbled by their own underestimation of Earth's capabilities. The human tactics, once a source of amusement, had become a subject of serious study and admiration. The council's view of Earth had changed dramatically. No longer seen as a minor player, humanity was now recognized for its strategic brilliance. The task ahead was to navigate this new understanding and determine how to interact with Earth moving forward. The council members left the meeting with a renewed sense of purpose. They were determined to learn from their mistake and approach humanity with the respect it deserved. The secret behind the human tactics had been unveiled, and the Galactic Council now faced the challenge of adapting to this new reality. The Galactic Council's grand hall was now filled with a tense atmosphere. The earlier laughter and confidence had vanished, replaced by a sense of urgency and unease. The Council had faced a humbling defeat at the hands of what they had thought were simple human tactics. The time had come for them to reckon with their mistake and decide their next move. The council leader, still reeling from the shock of the recent simulation, called for a high-level meeting. He was a tall, imposing figure with a silver sheen and piercing eyes. His voice carried an edge of frustration as he addressed the assembled members. "We've been embarrassed by our underestimation of human tactics. We must address this issue seriously and determine our strategy moving forward." The council members gathered around a central holotable which projected a detailed view of the simulation results and tactical data. The mood was somber, and the once confident leaders now wore expressions of concern and contemplation. One of the senior members, a blue-skinned alien with numerous tentacles, spoke up. "Our technology and strategies are superior, but the human tactics exposed a flaw in our approach. We need to understand how to counter these tactics effectively." Another member, a green-skinned being with a sharp, angular face, nodded in agreement. "We can't ignore the fact that these tactics are not just simple, they are well-designed and adaptive. If we continue to dismiss them, we risk another embarrassing defeat." The council leader glanced at the simulation data, deep in thought. "We need to change our approach. We must adapt our strategies and technology to better handle these human tactics. It's not just about brute force, it's about understanding and adapting." As the discussion continued, the council debated various options. Some members suggested seeking a diplomatic approach with Earth, hoping to learn more about their tactics and technology. Others proposed increasing their military presence to ensure they could effectively counter any future human strategies. "We cannot afford to underestimate them again," said one council member, his voice firm. "Our reputation is at stake. We need to demonstrate that we are capable of handling any challenge, no matter how unexpected." The leader of the council made a decision. "We will initiate a series of joint simulations with human representatives. This will allow us to test their tactics in various scenarios and develop effective counter-strategies. We will also engage in discussions with Earth to gain a deeper understanding of their methods." The idea of joint simulations was met with mixed reactions. Some council members were eager to learn from the humans and improve their strategies, while others were reluctant to admit they needed help. Despite the division, the decision was made. The council had to face the reality that they needed to adapt and evolve. The council leader issued orders for the new strategy to be implemented immediately. Teams were assigned to work closely with human counterparts, setting up joint simulations and diplomatic meetings. The goal was to bridge the gap between the two sides and build a better understanding of human tactics. As the preparations began, the council members reflected on their recent experiences. They realized that their initial dismissal of Earth's capabilities had been a grave mistake. The humans had shown that even seemingly simple tactics could be powerful when used effectively. The Council's reckoning had led to a shift in their perspective. They were no longer viewing Earth as a minor player, but as a significant force with valuable insights. The challenge now was to learn from their previous errors and approach humanity with respect and caution. In the days that followed, the Council's actions spoke volumes. They engaged in open and honest discussions with human representatives, exchanging knowledge and exploring ways to improve their strategies. The joint simulations provided valuable insights, helping both sides understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. The Council's reckoning was a turning point. They had been forced to confront their own arrogance and adapt to a new reality. The experience had taught them that even the most advanced technology and strategies could be challenged by the unexpected. As they moved forward, the Galactic Council was determined to approach Earth with a new sense of respect and collaboration, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The Galactic Council's Grand Hall had transformed from a place of arrogant laughter to a hub of collaboration and respect. The previous weeks had seen intense negotiations and joint simulations between the Council and human representatives. What started as a challenge had evolved into a mutual understanding, leading to the formation of an unprecedented alliance. The council leader, a tall figure with a silver sheen, stood at the center of the hall. Around him were representatives from Earth, including military strategists and diplomats. The atmosphere was filled with anticipation and hope. The council had invited the human delegation to witness a historic moment, the official signing of the new alliance. The hall was adorned with holographic banners and symbols representing both the Galactic Council and Earth. A large holo table displayed the final agreement, outlining the terms of cooperation and shared objectives. The room was buzzing with quiet conversations as everyone awaited the ceremony. The leader of the Galactic Council began the proceedings with a solemn voice. "We stand here today to mark a new chapter in our history. What began as a misunderstanding has grown into a powerful alliance. We have learned much from each other and realized that cooperation is far more beneficial than conflict." The human representative, a seasoned diplomat with a calm demeanor, stepped forward. "We are honored to formalize this alliance. Our encounters have shown us that despite our differences, we share common goals and values. By working together, we can achieve great things and ensure a more peaceful and prosperous future for both our peoples." The ceremony proceeded with the signing of the agreement. The council leader and the human diplomat exchanged signed documents, symbolizing their commitment to the new alliance. The holotable displayed the terms joint military exercises, shared technological advancements, and collaborative research projects. As the signing concluded, the council leader addressed the assembly. "This alliance represents our commitment to learning from one another and growing stronger together. We will combine our strengths, share knowledge, and support each other in facing future challenges. We have moved beyond our previous assumptions and embraced a partnership built on mutual respect." The human diplomat nodded in agreement. "This alliance is a testament to what can be achieved when different civilizations come together with an open mind. We look forward to working with the Galactic Council to explore new frontiers and build a lasting friendship." The hall erupted in applause, signaling the beginning of a new era. Both sides celebrated the formation of the alliance with a reception featuring a mix of human and alien delicacies. The event was a blend of cultures, showcasing the rich diversity of both civilizations. In the days that followed, the new alliance began to take shape. Joint military exercises were conducted to test and refine combined strategies. The simulations that once exposed weaknesses were now a platform for cooperation and improvement. Both sides worked side by side, learning from each other's strengths and weaknesses. Technological collaborations also began. The Council shared their advanced technologies with Earth, while humans introduced innovations from their own research. The exchange of knowledge led to breakthroughs that neither side could have achieved alone. The partnership fostered a spirit of innovation and progress. The alliance extended beyond military and technological cooperation. Diplomatic ties were strengthened with regular meetings and cultural exchanges. The Council and human representatives visited each other's worlds, fostering deeper understanding and personal connections. The Galactic Council's view of Earth had changed dramatically. No longer seen as a minor player, humanity was recognized as a valuable partner. The Council had come to appreciate the depth of human ingenuity and the effectiveness of their tactics. The once dismissed strategies had become a source of inspiration and learning. For Earth, the alliance with the Galactic Council marked a significant milestone. The partnership provided new opportunities for growth and exploration. The shared knowledge and resources opened doors to possibilities that were previously beyond reach. As the new alliance continued to develop, both the Galactic Council and humanity looked forward to a future built on cooperation and mutual respect. The challenges of the past had paved the way for a stronger, more united front. Together, they were ready to face whatever the universe had in store, confident that their combined efforts would lead to a brighter and more prosperous future.